Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. So I know you're reading the title and I know you're probably thinking, didn't you just do a declutter video and now you're doing another one? Yes, I'm taking full advantage of this mood that I'm in and just wanting to purge and declutter. I literally did this declutter yesterday at 1 a.m. Anytime I feel overwhelmed, I just want to take it out on decluttering because it just makes me feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and I feel like I still had perfumes to declutter. In fact, 12 more perfumes to declutter. I think my last one was 9 perfumes, so now we got a little bit more just because I feel like ever since I did my last one, I was kind of on the fence about some, and so I gave those scents a little bit of time to wear them and just to see how I felt. And I'm pretty certain that I want to get rid of these. I feel like these videos are kind of hit or miss on my channel. Some people really love them, and then some people kind of feel sad about them. I get these comments every time I do these declutters of people telling me that you like the video but it kind of makes you sad. And for me, it's kind of the opposite because it kind of gives me more room for more perfumes, and I feel like my scent preference has changed so much from when I started my channel to now. And I just prefer, I don't know, different scents, and I'm kind of particular about the scents that I like now. And don't you worry, even though I'm getting rid of these, I will be doing so many perfume hauls. I have been perfume shop. I think that's why I honestly keep decluttering, because I feel guilty about all the perfumes that I've been buying that I have yet to show you guys. So even though these are going out of my collection, I have some amazing ones to bring back in. So stay tuned for those videos. As per usual, these are all going to be listed on my Mercari. I did get a few comments on my last declutter of people that missed out on some of those scents because by the time you saw the video, everything was sold out. So hopefully this will give you a chance to buy any fragrances. I will say, if you are interested in buying anything, go ahead on over there right away, because a couple of these are actually already sold, and I have a feeling by the time this video goes out, a lot more of them are gonna be sold. So if you do like any of these fragrances, definitely go and check it out. That'll be the first link in my description box. And also, I did want to say a huge thank you to all of you that have bought from me. I have gotten really positive reviews from all of you, so thank you for that. All right, with all that being said, before we get into this video, please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. I'm gonna start off with the first 3 that have already sold on my Mercari. So I'm just gonna give you guys my reasonings as to why I got rid of these. So the first one, which I feel like might be a little shocking, and it was kind of shocking to me, but at the same time not really, because I'm I never use this scent, and it's a very similar scent to a scent that I have in my collection that I use a lot more than this. So I was like, it's about time that I get rid of Burberry Her. I know this is a super popular scent, and for a good reason. I mean, it smells amazing. It smells very similar to Baccarat Rouge in my opinion, which is another reason why I am getting rid of it, because as I said in my past declutters, I tend to have a lot of perfumes that smell like one another in my collection, and that has been my main goal when I declutter, is just getting rid of doubles and triples and quadruples, because I had a lot of those. So a lot of these are gonna be that, and this I felt like I kind of already had a version of it. Baccarat Rouge and this definitely smell different, but the main difference is that this is strawberry. If you added strawberry fruity notes, berryness, to Baccarat Rouge, it would be Burberry Her, which sounds amazing, and it is. I absolutely love this fragrance. I just don't use it. I've had this for a while and I just haven't used it. I have made the tiniest little dent in it, but other than that, it is more than halfway full. So to whoever bought this, I think you are really going to enjoy that. These next 2 fragrances are kind of inspired by you guys, which is the reason why I got rid of these, because when I did my last declutter, I got a couple comments that said, have you gotten rid of any Oakcha fragrances? I just hadn't looked into that compartment in my collection, and I was like, I totally have 2 Oakcha scents that I can get rid of because they're dupes of 2 fragrances that I already have in my collection. So I'm actually getting rid of 2 Oakcha scents. One of these is already sold, but the other one is still available if anyone is interested. So the one that is sold is Sweven, and this is a dupe to Baccarat Rouge. So that's why I'm getting rid of Sweven. It is literally Baccarat Rouge, and it smells honestly just like it. And then the other Oakcha scent is Sweet Addict. So this is still available on there as of the time that I'm filming this video, and this is a dupe to Love Don't Be Shy, which I also have in my collection, I think up there somewhere, and this is also very similar. Wow, it's literally 100% similar. They smell exactly the same. I love these Oakcha scents. I feel like these are very close to the originals that they're trying to dupe, so I highly recommend this brand. I've worked with them in the past. I have Sinful in my collection, which is a dupe to Lost Cherry, and I absolutely love that. I wear it all the time, so that is here to stay because I don't own Lost Cherry, so I love that I have a dupe of it. But these 2 I'm getting rid of purely because I have the originals. And then along the same lines, I'm getting rid of these two Juliana scents, also because I had this one in my collection, or a version of it. This is called Aphrodite's Rose. Now this one is already sold out, but this is still available, which I'll talk about next. Aphrodite's Rose is inspired by Atomic Rose by Initio, and when I did my last declutter, I guess I hadn't smelled this and I was like, no, I want to keep that. But when I smelled it and I did a little bit of research, I'm like, this smells exactly like Delina. And if you look up Atomic Rose by Initio, the first few fragrances that are listed for it smelling similar to are Delina and all the Delina flankers. So if you're interested in the Delina scent profile, that is what, well, it's already sold. So I guess I can't say that anymore, but that is Aphrodite's Rose. And then this one is still available on there. This is In the Mood. This is supposed to be a dupe of Satin Mood by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. This is a really expensive smelling scent. Like the oud in this is not too much. Every time I smell it, I think just expensive. It reminds me of like walking into like a really high-end department store type of thing. It's a really, really nice scent. I just don't use it, and I prefer my other Juliana scents. I still have a big collection of Juliana scents, but those are here to stay in my collection. But I think these are going to be the last ones that leave my collection as of now. So this is still available on there if you're interested in a dupe for Oud Satin Mood. And speaking of Juliana's perfumes, I have just also added this onto my Mercari. This is Inner Beauty Exclusive. This is a dupe to Delina Exclusive, and I'm getting rid of this because I honestly don't find that huge of a difference between this and the original Delina, which I have, like I said earlier. So yeah, this is also gonna go. Okay, so those are the sold fragrances. There's only 3 sold fragrances on there, so everything else that I'm about to show is still available as of the time that I am filming this video. Next one took a lot of convincing, but at the same time it didn't. This is the Montal Vanilla Ecstasy. I purely wanted to hold on to this just because of the bottle. Like I really love the bottle, and I actually bought this in Athens at the airport. So I feel like I was holding on to this purely just because of the nostalgia and where I got it, and I just really love the packaging of these Montal fragrances. But scent wise, I never used it. When I tell you this is completely full. So I am getting rid of Vanilla Ecstasy because it is a straight up exact dupe to Viktor & Rolf's Flower Bomb, and I kind of prefer Flower Bombs. It smells really good. It's a very strong scent. It's like almost stronger than Flower Bomb, and it definitely lasts a lot longer than Flower Bomb. So I think whoever gets this, you are going to really love this fragrance. But I never used it. It was just sitting there, and I felt like as much as I love the bottle and the memories that this gives me, I'm never gonna use the actual scent. Then I'm getting rid of Poison Girl. Honestly, ever since I bought this, I wasn't like 100% with it, and I've said that in past videos, and I was kind of holding on to it for the hope of me eventually changing my mind, because I tend to kind of do that with scents. Like I'll start off not liking it and then I like it, or vice versa. But I've held on to this scent so long, and I still kind of feel the same way about it. I do think it's sexy. I really think it's sexy. It's really sweet, but it's a little bit like powdery for my liking. It's kind of like thick and a little bit syrupy, and maybe I'm just not liking it because right now, and honestly not just right now, but where I live in general is hot 24/7. We do not get winters, so it's like constantly 100 degrees outside, and this is definitely more of a fall and winter time scent because it is more on like the sweeter gourmand side. So it's definitely a great scent. It's very sexy and rich, but it's just a little too much for, I guess, where I live. Then I'm getting rid of Prada Candy Gloss. I also held on to this for a while, honestly, because I really love the bottle. There's a lot of people that say that this reminds them of Lost Cherry by Tom Ford, and I kind of agree, and then I kind of disagree. I feel like Lost Cherry is a little bit fresher than this. This one's a little bit more creamy, and it has that lipsticky makeup scent to it. That's why it's called Prada Candy Gloss. It's a flanker to the Prada Candy line, so it's very sweet. You can definitely expect that. It has that makeup powder, you know, makeup-y scent. Kind of reminds me of like Lipstick Fever by Juliette Has a Gun, that type of thing. But it also has a very prominent cherry note that you can definitely smell with like this powderiness, creaminess to it. It's a nice scent. It's just a little bit much for me right now. I don't know what has been with me, but like I love stronger scents, but then there's some strong scents that kind of tend to give me a headache because I'm constantly smelling them, and I felt like that's what this was doing to me. But it's a really nice scent if you are into this kind of scent profile. This one, I don't know how I hadn't gotten rid of this sooner, because I have always said, well, this is Rihanna's Rebel Fleur. Let me start off by telling you the name. I always get carried away with how much I want to like explain fragrances, and then I never end up like saying their names. I'm getting rid of this because ever since I got the Rebel Fleur Love Always, which is the flanker to this, which smells exactly the same, it has the exact same notes, but it has this slight difference in the sense that it's creamier, and I just think it's like more smooth and more well-rounded, and I have a full size of that scent in my collection. So I'm like, why am I still holding on to both of these if they have the exact same notes and I prefer the Rebel Fleur Love Always? So it was kind of a no-brainer. I guess I had just kind of like forgotten this, but Rebel Fleur is one of the best, if not the best, celebrity fragrances there is. It's by Rihanna, so obviously it's gonna be good. It is so sexy. It's so rich. It lasts all day. It does not have that typical boring celebrity perfume DNA that like 99% of celebrity perfumes have. This is definitely different, but in like the best way. I think there's like plum in here. It's very rich. There's some patchouli in the base, but it's not too much, and I love this. I honestly think it's amazing. I just kind of prefer the Love Always because this has a little bit of coconut in it, but in the Love Always, I think they kind of upped that coconut note, and it doesn't necessarily smell like coconut, but it makes it way more creamy and smooth. So I'm getting rid of this just because I prefer that one, and it's like 99% similar, so there is no reason for me to hold on to both. And then this is another scent I've contemplated for a really long time. I don't know what it is about me in this scent. This is Christian Siriano Silhouette, and I don't know what it is about this, but I've always been kind of scared to wear it. I don't know how to explain it. This is very sexy. Another one, like that's a running theme in this video. A lot of these perfumes are really sexy. That's honestly like one of the first thing that I look for in fragrances, is like just that sex appeal that they give. That's just something that I personally look for, so a lot of my perfumes have that, and this one is no different. This is so good. I don't know how to explain it. This is, I honestly don't know. I will put up the notes so you guys can see. Now that I'm smelling it, I'm like, why are you getting rid of this again? And it has this like slight muskiness that almost kind of gives, I don't want to say a cologne vibe, but it gives this sexy kind of, I don't know, masculine touch to it. And those are my favorite scents, honestly. Like I have a lot of those perfumes in my collection because I find that like duality of a perfume that has both like this rich feminine sexiness, but then it has a little bit of like this masculine something. I find that so sexy. Like that is almost like half of my perfumes do that. This one has it too, but I don't know. I just haven't really used it, and maybe I'll change my mind by the time this video goes up, but maybe I won't. I don't know. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I know my top fragrances that I wear all the time and like my sexy ones, and I wear those so much that I just don't think of anything else. So I'm just like, I'm probably not gonna use that considering I haven't used it up until this point. Wait, this one is definitely a shocker. I feel like this is Olympia by Paco Rabanne. When I first hauled this, I bought this a long time ago, and it is actually, which is crazy, it's my first perfume haul ever on my channel where I talked about this, and I was so into it. Like I remember the first time I ever smelled it, I was like, this is my perfume for life. I don't need another perfume. This is the best perfume I've ever smelled. And it's not that I don't agree with it anymore, but I just feel like my nose has definitely changed a lot, which you guys have definitely seen that in the past couple years since I started my channel, since I started getting really into fragrance and building my collection. I feel like initially I was into, what are my bangs doing right now? I feel like initially I was just super into like the heavy gourmand, super sweet, thick scents and all of that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still into those. I still have, like, the majority of my collection is those fragrances, and some of my favorite fragrances, like in my top 10 perfumes, are those types of scents still. But there's some scent profiles now that I prefer more than others, and I feel like this one just, not that it's bad, but it's one of those scents, again, that if I wear it for too long now, it can tend to kind of give me a headache. And who knows, maybe in the future I'm gonna want to like get this back or something. I'll look into that if I feel like it. But I will say I did recently discover a scent that kind of reminds me of this and is so much better, and you guys are going to be seeing that in a future haul coming up. So I cannot wait to share that perfume with you guys, because I think that is like a million trillion times better than this. But this is still really good. It's like salty but with a lot of sweetness. It's like a perfect summer gourmand. It's sexy. Again, I just don't use it nearly as much as I used to, and Yeah. And then the last fragrance I am getting rid of is by Zara. So I thought I was done decluttering my Zara collection, and I feel like this one is the last one where I'm like, yeah, this can go too. This is Violet Blossom. I don't know how to explain the scent. It's really nice again, but again, it has that thick syrupy sweetness to it, and I feel like that was kind of a theme with a lot of these fragrances today. I guess I'm just kind of straying away from this scent profile a little bit. I still have a couple of those in my collection, but these types of scents nowadays just kind of tend to be a little bit too much for me. I feel like if I could put this into like perspective for you guys or compare it to any other familiar perfumes, it kind of smells like a lighter version to Hypnotic Poison a little bit, and Hypnotic Poison is already like a really, really thick, crazy, insane fragrance, which I don't wear often. If I wear it, it's definitely going to be in the fall and winter time. But I still keep that in my collection because I do think it's so unique and it just offers something that no other fragrance does. So this one is kind of similar to that, which is another reason why I'm getting rid of it. And I just don't want a ton of these types of scent profiles in my collection because I'm just not really into this scent profile anymore. Like, I have Hypnotic Poison and I'm good with just that. I don't need like a million variations of that scent in my collection. Right, and then lastly, I didn't want to make a completely separate video just with body mist because I don't feel like I have that many, so I'm just gonna add these in this video as well. But I have also added these two Marmercari. I have 6 Bath & Body Works and these 6 from Victoria's Secret and Pink. These are all really, really great body mists, but I have doubles of a lot of things, and I really just want to downsize my collection as much as possible. But I have talked about every single one of these scents on my channel at some point, so you can find reviews if you want to like hear more about it in case you are interested in any particular scent. And I'm not going to list these individually just because I feel like that will be a lot. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm just going to put 3s. So these 3 are going to be one listing, one listing, one listing, and one listing. So there's going to be 4 separate listings. So yeah, check these out on there as well. And that concludes this declutter, guys. I promise, well, I don't want to say I promise, but I'm pretty sure I'm done decluttering for a minute. I feel like I say that in every declutter, but I feel like I feel really, really good about my collection now, and especially with the scents that I'm bringing in. I can't wait to show you guys the new perfumes I'm bringing in. I feel like once I get through all my perfume hauls and I show you guys all of those, I'm gonna do an updated perfume collection so that you guys can see, you know, like what I'm loving right now. Every single one of the perfumes that I have in my collection right now, I love, like absolutely love. So if I do decide to declutter down the line, it's gonna get really, really, really hard. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are interested in any of these fragrances, go on to my Mercari as soon as possible because I have a feeling a lot of these are going to sell out very fast, especially because I feel like these are really, really amazing fragrances. So if you've been wanting any of these, they're there right now, but they're not going to be there forever. So definitely check that link out before everything sells out. That is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.